One of the most crucial yet misunderstood aspects of manifestation is detachment. It's what allows your desires to actually manifest. But how do you stay committed to your desires whilst also letting go? This is where many people get stuck, and in today's video I'm going to break it down clearly so that you can master detachment and start seeing real results. My name's Georgia. I have a master's degree in consciousness, spirituality and transpersonal psychology, and in my free time I love to research manifestation and the science behind creating our reality. If you've ever felt confused about detachment, wondering how you can want something so deeply without clinging to it, then don't worry, because by the end of this video you're going to fully understand detachment and have practical steps that you can implement to achieve it. So first of all, why do we need to detach? I'm going to give you an example that everyone will be able to relate to that proves the power of detachment, and that is having a crush. When you're obsessed with someone, when you're constantly checking your phone, when you're feeling really desperate for their attention, when you're being very needy, that very rarely ends well. Meanwhile, the most magnetic people, who constantly seem to be attracting people, attracting who they want, they tend to be very confident, self-assured, unattached to the outcome. Now, I don't know the science behind this, but I do know that we can all sense that needy, desperate energy, and it's repelling. It doesn't attract what we want, it repels it. Now, whilst I can't explain this from a scientific perspective, I believe we can look at it from an esoteric perspective. So, in manifestation terms, I do not believe it's as simple as like attracts like. I believe what's actually happening in manifestation is that we attract circumstances that reflect back to us who we are being. It is our state of being that is mirrored back to us, which includes our beliefs. In this case, that really needy energy that we're exuding is sending a very clear signal, and it's a signal of lack. Now, in order for that lack to remain true and for our state of being to be reflected back to us, then we have to not attract what it is that we're desiring, because we're putting out the energy that we don't have that thing, hence why we're needing it so much and we're so desperate for it. So us lacking that thing is being reflected back to us. Our state of being is being mirrored back to us by us not receiving our desire. So this might be why when we really need or want something, i.e. we are not detached, we end up repelling that thing, and so we need to learn to detach. So what is detachment? Detachment is the opposite of this needy, obsessive energy. It's certainty, it's trust, it's knowing that something is assured so you don't stress over it. Think of it like ordering food at a restaurant. You place your order, you expect that your order is going to arrive at some point, but you're not obsessing over specifically when your order is going to arrive. You're still allowed to be excited about your order, you can still sit there and be thinking about how excited you are to eat the food, but you're not going and peering in the kitchen and checking on the status of your order. You just trust that it's going to come when it's ready. Beneath the excitement is trust, and it's that trust that allows you to detach. So detachment is the natural result of us believing in our manifestation so strongly that we just know it's going to come and happen in the perfect way. So we have no need to obsess over it. We can still want and look forward to our reality shifting, but we have such faith that it's going to happen that we don't have to stress about when it's going to happen. And this isn't to say that you have to have unwavering faith every single second of every single day. You are allowed to have some doubts. Some doubts are naturally going to crop up. The question is, what is your predominant state of being in relation to your desire? Is it secure or is it obsessive? We need to tip the scales so it is predominantly a secure state and you trust that it's going to come. So now we understand why we need to detach. The question is, how can we detach? In my experience, detachment is a natural result of other things that we do. So now I'm going to give you 4 practical steps you can implement, which as a result will allow you to detach. So the first step is creating the belief. You will never be able to detach if you do not believe that your manifestation is possible and that it's coming. So how do you believe? You have to program the belief into your mind. Our brains have a wonderful property called neuroplasticity, which allows us to rewire our neural pathways using our thoughts. So if you want to believe in a new reality, you need to program that reality into your mind through repetition. If you constantly affirm your desired reality, you will create and strengthen the neural pathways that are associated with those thoughts, which eventually will turn into beliefs. It will feel strange at first to affirm things to yourself like, I am always attracting abundance, but the more you do it, it will eventually feel natural. And once it does feel natural, detachment will naturally follow as a result. The next step is to take action, because the more that you take action, the more you'll be able to trust that your manifestation is coming. Because how can you expect to believe it's going to happen if you are doing nothing to make it happen? As you start to take aligned action towards your manifestations, the belief that they're going to happen will naturally emerge as a result, which will make it much easier for you to detach. So do all of the manifestation practices like visualization, but make sure that you are building on those practices by taking physical action too. The next step is to practice mindfulness. So the opposite of detachment is attachment, which often presents itself as you obsessing over your desire. And the easiest way to stop this is to stop it in its tracks through mindfulness. When you notice yourself stressing over when your desire is going to come, take a moment to breathe. When we practice mindfulness, we bring our attention back to the present moment where obsessing cannot occur. Why? Because obsessing comes from wanting to be in a state other than the present moment. You want your reality to be different than it currently is. So when you're all up in your thoughts, stressing about your manifestation, bring yourself back to the present moment and watch the stress dissipate. Even if you have to do this 1,000 times, keep doing it, because eventually you're going to tip the scale so that your state of being is predominantly secure. The final step is consistency. The more you practice manifestation and start to see things happen, the more you will naturally trust the process, eventually to the point where you can trust the process even before you see your desires in your physical reality. Think of it like exercise. It's a muscle that you have to strengthen through practice. If you went to the gym and decided you were going to first try to lift the heaviest weight that was there, you probably wouldn't believe that you would be able to do it, and you'd be stressing about it. Whereas if you practiced and you built up to that, eventually you would naturally know and trust in your own ability to be able to lift those heavier weights. So start by practicing small instances of manifestation every day. Just little things like setting your intention for a good day in the morning, or trying to reframe circumstances that bother you. The more that you do these little practices and start to see the shifts that accompany them, the more that you will naturally trust in your own creation power, which will allow you to detach as a result. So you do not need to be perfect to detach. You just need to shift your energy so that trust outweighs doubt. Now, if you want even more of a reason to believe in your manifestation and be able to detach as a result, then you can watch this video next, in which I use quantum physics to explain why your dream reality might already exist and you just need to select it. For now, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I hope to see you in the next one.